Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
You better believe this is going to be a bumpy road to the top, as a lot of things have been breaking recently. See, a lot of people, including Torrey Corton, still believe that we're bearish as far as the immediate short term is concerned, and he's an analyst I highly respect, and he gives this specific tweet by Elizabeth Warren yesterday as an example for why. Cryptocurrencies risk undermining sanctions against Russia, allowing Putin and his cronies to evade economic pain. U.S. financial regulators need to take this threat seriously and increase their scrutiny of digital assets. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing we know, it's that Elizabeth Warren is fundamentally anti-crypto. If there's one thing we know, is that Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler have extremely close ties together. Of course, Gary Gensler's daughter has an internship with Elizabeth Warren. Remember that one as well. Meaning, Gary is in her pocket and fundamentally believes more things that she believes. You see, he states people are applauding Bitcoin being used to fund and donate to the current crisis. The governments now have a perfect justification to commit a crypto clampdown agenda. And he states he can imagine the headlines, Bitcoin funding war. He states this is not positive. And that's something we do need to keep an eye on. Ladies and gentlemen, I 100% agree with his analysis. I do believe there's going to be a cataclysmic crash in the crypto markets, and it's going to be a number of reasons. The only question has ever been, are we going to see altcoin season first, or will we see the cataclysmic crash first? Personally, I think the charts are reading that we'll see an altcoin season first, and then a monstrous clampdown. That is the confirmation I'm getting, but this is excellent analysis. You see, guys, I presented both scenarios, even though I believe with 100% certainty that we have gone bullish. The way to ground yourself as an investor is to give the counter narrative, so you are prepared for anything. This is something we need to use to critique our own biases, and this is something we need to keep in our minds. So I'm going to proceed as if we're going bullish. This in the back of our minds lets us know what could happen if we go bearish, and the reasons why. But now, guys, I have to remind you of this fractal that Blockchain Backer has been posting for a long time. We are currently here. As far as that Bitcoin fractal is concerned, we have to continue seeing if it progresses like clockwork. But if it does, we could continue all the way to $57,000 for Bitcoin, give or take. And that would give plenty of room for our alts to run. And if that does happen, then good Lord Almighty, that is what we've been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, the end of this XRP case, in my opinion, is reaching a critical point. We just saw the end of expert discovery, and I have to give you a reminder that Jeremy Hogan posted this. He posted, yes, a 1-hour settlement discussion happened a couple months ago. It didn't settle, which means that the next most likely settlement time would be at mediation, which would be hosted by the one and only Judge Netburn, who has seen all the documents in camera. This is going to be important, guys. Settlement talks on the table. End of this case could be coming soon, and that aligns with all these geopolitical events happening right now, as well as this altcoin season. Now, guys, as far as these geopolitical events are concerned, George Gammon states this: even the bankers are saying SWIFT can be circumvented. Are the costs worth the benefits? I don't have the answers, and neither do I, my friend. This was an exact quote from Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase. SWIFT sanctions may be unintended consequences, may bring unintended consequences, and can be circumvented. That is a fact, my friends. That is a 100% fact. And here we have Digital Assets Daily posting that the Russian central bank chief says an alternative to SWIFT is already in place. SWIFT, its days are numbered. It's one of those things where the XRP community, we've been talking about SWIFT for the past 6 years. And now, right now in 2022, at the peak of what we believe is going to be a financial collapse, liquidity crisis, and geopolitical turmoil, now we're at the forefront with SWIFT of the mainstream headlines. Russia says they have an alternative to SWIFT. And guys, I've been posting documents found by King Solomon proving the Russian central bank has used XRP. However, I have to tell all of you that I believe I made a critical mistake in my projection and my analysis of what the future could bring. I had stated in my past couple videos that I believe Russia could use XRP and XRP's base system to circumvent SWIFT. But that, that doesn't make sense. And I'll show you why right now. You see, Ashish Burla, general manager of RippleNet, stated, in the past few days, we've seen some say that Russia could potentially evade sanctions and get around SWIFT using crypto. He outlines some of the key arguments refuting this. Crypto is only becoming more easily trackable by software and governments. There isn't enough global liquidity to support Russian needs. Specifically, the country's FX needs. On and off ramps are by large, regulated financial institutions that have to abide by OFAC laws. Diving into number 2, our team at Ripple took a look at the data behind this. As stated by the US Treasury Department, Russia conducts nearly 50 billion in FX transactions a day. As the largest crypto, Bitcoin's volume is usually between 20 to 50 billion a day. Russia's needs would encompass Bitcoin and more. As of January 2022, you could only send $200,000 worth of rubles at the time through Bitcoin on Binance versus 3.7 million through Binance USD and 3 million through Binance Euro on Bitstamp. Even if you were sending 200,000 every minute, and assuming the Bitcoin ruble market was resilient enough to immediately replenish the liquidity, you're nowhere near $50 billion a day. Also, the total average daily volume over the last month for Bitcoin Russian ruble has been about 11 million. SWIFT is one part of the equation here. Banning some Russian banks from using SWIFT does complicate matters. But let's not forget that Russia had ample time to prepare, setting up direct banking relationships in Asia and elsewhere to get around correspondence. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the key point. That right there is what I believe is happening. Russia and China, as well as India, BRICS nations, and other countries, they have a system ready. Here, we said that Brazil is remaining neutral over this current invasion. Very interesting, seeing as they are part of the BRICS nations. Remember that Russia stated it will remove dollar assets from its wealth fund. Remember that Russia stated they may allow crypto mining and gold-backed stablecoins, specifically gold-backed government-backed stablecoins. Ladies and gentlemen, Russia has been positioning themselves to circumvent the US dollar-dominated SWIFT system for a long time. And if you think that what's happening right now wasn't prepared for in advance, years in advance, then you're out of your minds. Russia and China are at the heart of it. Zero doubt in my mind. And the miscalculation I made as far as interpreting what's going on is that I believed XRP could be used by Russia, the BRICS nations, and China to to circumvent SWIFT. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine that narrative. XRP used to help Russia avoid SWIFT sanctions. Oh, guys, that would be so bad. I'm sorry. That would be so bad. And that narrative just came to me yesterday. So I apologize, because I don't believe that's what's going to happen anymore. Instead, I think this is the most likely scenario that's going to take place. You see, guys, Ron Hammond put out a thread about what is most likely going to happen, and I'm going to read that in just a second after I give you guys my personal belief of what's about to happen. Guys, what I believe is going to happen is that as a matter of national security, as Joe Biden stated, this executive order could bring XRP to the forefront. No guarantees, just speculation, but hear me out. Payments.com has stated Joe Biden's executive order may trigger a crypto regulatory spree. And guys, just imagine the headlines. Joe Biden signs executive order where you cannot use Bitcoin to send across seas to help fund these geopolitical tensions, while at the same time, they need to bring XRP to the forefront. As this lawsuit is resolving, by the way, as we see that XRP and Ripple, they did not break the laws and they were trying to be compliant. Imagine, XRP has regulatory clarity via both settlement and executive order to run free and help the United States combat this Russian and Chinese backed payment system. Wow! Now, wouldn't that be mainstream headlines? Out with Bitcoin as the leader of the crypto space. In comes XRP. Remember that Ripple is a Silicon Valley based company. Ripple is a more progressive company, and the people in power are Democrats. That is important to know. Guys, that is so important. I've often stated politics will play a major role in the crypto space. And let's see what happens next. I personally think XRP could be used eventually to combat the Russia-China backed payment system. And here from Ron Hammond, we can see how exactly this is going to play out. This week in Congress and crypto, while this was expected, the current situation has shifted the ground when it comes to the entire legislative outlook for the rest of the year. As members return to DC and are briefed on the situation, here are a few areas worth monitoring. First, the narrative battle. The saying goes, never let a crisis go to waste, and we are seeing the pro and anti-crypto camps make their pitch. This is still an evolving situation through, and the current head of FTX US highlights the current landscape in this thread. There are two competing media narratives right now. Crypto has enabled significant direct contributions to Ukrainian residents, and crypto has the potential to be used by Russia to evade sanctions. Number one is a provable fact. Crypto wallets from across the globe have contributed millions in Bitcoin, Ether, and stablecoins. Number two is speculation that regulated crypto exchanges rightly find dubious. We have always complied with official sanctions and have sophisticated tools on both the fiat and crypto transaction sides to uphold such sanctions. But guys, what's interesting, Binance is not abiding by these sanctions. That is an important note. Crypto exchanges are complying, other than Binance. I think Binance, as the leading crypto exchange on the planet, is going to come down after this. That is still left to be determined, but it is a likely scenario. There is the immediate desire to act from Congress. When it comes to the financial deterrence and sanctions, nothing is off the table. Fed Chair Jerome Powell will be testifying both chambers this week. What was supposed to be a health crisis recovery inflation focus is now on Ukraine. And the reason that's important is because, ladies and gentlemen, I stated this last week, I do not think they are going to raise interest rates. This was the perfect crisis they needed to use in order to continue to maintain rates at near zero. Inflation will continue, and all these negative price swings in the crypto market and the stock market can now price in the speculation that we're going to continue to see near zero rates. What an interesting time indeed. And before I continue, I have to say that in no way is this me being happy about the current situation. What this is me just telling you objectively what this could mean for markets. Here, you need to understand and watch how members now view the risks and benefits of a central bank digital currency, as reports surface of Russia looking into a digital currency. Remember, the Russian minister yesterday stated they're looking for a digital one world currency. Many in Congress see this as an example of where the U.S. needs to lead. Later this month, the U.S. Financial Services Committee will have a hearing on central bank digital currencies and their risks and benefits. And while a lot will happen between now and the hearing, slated for the 29th of March, expect this issue to receive much more attention as it relates to national security. Combating crypto usage and illicit finance has been an issue shared by both sides of the aisle. The goal is to prevent bad actors, but not stifle innovation, and I expect more bills on this. Ladies and gentlemen, just so you all remember, XRP is KYC and AML compliant. By the way, that's an important note. Questions do remain, though if there will be calls for more financial regulations or cuts from services as it relates to engaging with foreign nations and their citizens. The current head of Kraken highlighted the potential problems with some of those approaches in this thread. Finally, with the State of the Union today, and I also don't think that's a coincidence either, and the rumored executive order on crypto pushback given the recent developments, it will be worth monitoring to see if staff still have resources to finish this effort, or if it could morph into something different given Ukraine. On the bright side, it has been incredible seeing all the crypto support flooding into Ukraine after their recent tweet accepting crypto donations. DC is noticing this, and I've had several staffers mention this development. Guys, these are interesting times for the crypto space. Interesting indeed. And there is one guarantee I can give you. In the next couple weeks to the next couple months, we're going to have 100% clarity as to the future of our XRP investment and this asset class. And that, my friends, is priceless. I personally believe we're going to see our altcoin season now. I personally think XRP is going to be at the forefront of a global financial solution, especially for the United States. I already know that Russia is going to come out with their payment system, most likely a gold-backed stablecoin-centric system. Eventually, XRP will bridge all currencies, but right now I believe it will be a US-centric solution, and the US will use it and build the narrative that it's solving a global financial problem. And guys, just so you all know, while all of this is happening, Ripple has not stopped building. Tranglo and Absolute Goliath stated, "We are thrilled to announce today that we've enabled Ripple on-demand liquidity across all our payment corridors. This comes after a successful pilot on-demand liquidity deployment last September, which saw 250,000 transactions worth $48 million processed in 100 days. And guys, Just a little bit of inside information. One of my clients that has come to me through my mentorship program also told me that this Ripple Tranglo partnership is a lot more special than we can even imagine. And for those of you that need a little more confirmation, here is a monstrosity of a clip shown by Crypto Eddie, featuring Alex Kong, founder and chairman of TNG Fintech Group, founded in 2013, the parent company to Tranglo. Fast forward to 2021, with one Tranglo XRP on-demand liquidity corridor, to 2022 with 25 corridors.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.